Hi girls, gays, and theys. My name is Jess and welcome back to my channel, Books Past Bedtime. So today I am back with my June reset. So in this video, we are going to be reflecting on the last 5 years of the month that I've been on hiatus. We are going to look forward into June, so we're going to plan my June goals, plan my June content, and plan out my June TBR. So I love these types of videos and I'm so excited to be back filming them, so let's just hop right into it. I thought it would be fun to first and foremost just reflect on the past couple of months. And so let's address like the biggest elephant in the room, and that's that I haven't been here since January. And that is for a combination of reasons. One, I was really just feeling like burnt out by BookTube a little bit. I don't want to say I wasn't finding joy in reading, because I'm still finding joy in reading, but I just wasn't wanting to read as much, and I was wanting to mood read, and I was struggling to like force myself to read books for videos, which I was never like forcing myself to read things. I was trying to make videos around books that I was interested in, but I didn't like feeling like I had to read things, I think. And also just the concept of making videos. I didn't feel like sitting in front of camera. I didn't feel like getting ready. Like I just was feeling very burnt out. I didn't want to edit. Another problem was that my computer was really old. I got it before I went to college in like 2015. It was coming up on being like 8 years old. It was running really slow. It didn't like to run iMovie anymore. It took me forever to edit videos, and it was just so frustrating to edit videos that I did not want to sit down and do it. So I did get this lovely new computer. I just got this, and so I got Final Cut Pro on it, so I'm excited to be upgrading my editing software and learning a new program, and having a computer that like actually works again is really nice. So that will definitely no longer be a hindrance to me making videos. And another big reason that I was on a hiatus is that I did move, and I live in a new apartment now, as you can probably tell from the background. And with this new apartment came 2 new roommates, which are great. They're very lovely roommates. We work very well together. We live very well together. Like, it's a really good situation. I personally feel very uncomfortable filming when other people are in the house, so it's been an adjustment for me to try and find a schedule for me to like be comfortable filming and be comfortable like being myself in front of a camera without feeling embarrassed that somebody's listening to me. So I have made a new calendar. I like know when all my roommates are working. We are all flight attendants, so it's all like very all over the place schedules, but like for today, for example, both my roommates are out of the house while I'm here, so it is the perfect filming day. I'm going to just batch film on the days where I have this opportunity, so that is the plan. And that is just a little background on where I've been and why I've been gone, but I am excited to be back, especially for Pride Month. I knew I could not miss Pride Month no matter what I did, so that's definitely very exciting, and one of the reasons why I like specifically picked June to come back in. And also I just like feel very refreshed at this point, and like I've got a good handle on things. So yeah, that is kind of my reflection on the last few months. In terms of reading, I have not been reading at the same pace as I was last year and the year before. I wouldn't say the year before. I'm probably reading at a similar pace that I was in 2021, where I only read like 95 books. I'm reading a little bit more than that, so I actually have reduced my overall reading goal. If you watched this video in January, you know that I set my yearly reading goal at 200, and I have reduced that to 100 books, which feels a lot more manageable to me, because I was really starting to get stressed when I'm only reading like 7 to 10 books a month. I'm like, I'm not going to meet this goal. So I decided to take that pressure off myself, and I have reduced my reading goal to 100 books, which feels right. I've read 54 books so far this year, and my next video will be me wrapping up those 54 books that I haven't talked about on my channel yet, so that's something to look forward to, and subscribe if you're not already. But yeah, I've just been doing like a lot of mood reading and trying to like read ahead for some videos, but it's been nice to just kind of take the pressure off myself for a couple of months, and hopefully I can like take that into my channel and make it like just chill out a little bit more about things. But we'll see. That's not really who I am as a person. But that's okay. Anyway, so I think the first thing that would be fun to look at is just kind of an overview of my reading and my stats and that kind of a thing, just so you can see what I've been up to. So let's pull up my computer here in my reading spreadsheet, and we can take a look at that. All right, so this is my reading spreadsheet for 2023. I did purchase this from Allie over at Hardback Hoarder. I'll leave the link in the description if you're interested. It was just a couple of dollars on Etsy, but I love it, and it is just perfect for my needs and what I use it for. I wish I used it more, but I like what it tracks and how it tracks things and how it looks, so I love it. So as you can see in the top corner here is my little dashboard, a little overview of what's been up. Like I said, I've read 54 books this year. Across those 54 books, I have read 16,910 pages. I've listened to 81.6 hours of audiobooks, which is not a lot, only like maybe 10 audiobooks. I haven't really been super into audiobooks lately. It says I have reread 2 books, which I don't think is accurate. I think I've done at least 4 rereads this year, so maybe I just forgot to check a box somewhere. I don't know. Also, the books acquired on library checkouts is not updated. I'm always like gung-ho about doing that in January, but then as the year goes on, I just forget to track that, so that's not accurate. But you can see my little reading goals section here. As you can see, I changed it to 100, and I'm like halfway through, which is good. I'm ahead of, how do you say that? I'm not on track. I'm ahead of, I don't know what the phrase is, you know what I mean. I did kind of edit my reading goals down here a little bit too. Like I changed the first one to read 100 books. My goal now is to read 5 owned books a month. I think before that was 10 when I was like planning to read 20 books a month, which just has simply not been happening. I still would like to stay on top of NetGalley. I've made no progress toward that this year. I'd like to read, actually I'm going to change this one to read more days than not, because I definitely don't read every day, and I think that's unrealistic to expect that of myself just because of my schedule and my work and what I do. But yeah, and then this next one is to keep up with trackers, which I don't know. I would like to keep up with my spreadsheet, so I'm just gonna leave that there because I've been just updating it every month, which I never remember like when I started a book and when I stopped a book and things like that. So it would be better if I was doing that in real time. If we keep going down this side here, you can see how many books I've read each month. So in January, I read 17, definitely my best reading month of the year. I was really killing it that month, but also I was just reading a bunch of like Kindle Unlimited crap, so you know, I don't know, whatever. And then February, I took a downturn. I only read 7 books. March, I read 13. April, I read 10, and in May, I only read 7. I've definitely been like trending lower as the year goes on, which is okay. I'm like feeling comfortable about that and okay about that. I just hope that I can pick up more books that I will enjoy more. For my series stats, I have been tracking this. I think the most interesting part of this stat is that I've started 13 series this year, but I've also finished 7. So I think I'm pretty proud of myself for that. I'm not really someone that like leaves a bunch of unread series lying around. Like if I read the first book of a series and I'm like meh about it, I usually don't even plan to continue the series, so I don't count that within my tracking. But yeah, the series I do enjoy, I've finished, and a lot of the ones that I have started like aren't complete series. All the books aren't out, so yeah, I'm pretty caught up on my series, I think. Author stats, I've read 5 debut novels this year, 32 books by authors I've read before, 17 books by authors that were new to me, 21 of my books were own voices books, which is awesome. It's like 39%. Obviously it could be higher than that, and I just don't know the identity of the author, or the author chooses not to share that identity with me, so I can't mark that as own voices because I don't know. But of the ones that I knew for sure, 39%, pretty good. This library thing doesn't count. And then the diversity stats, 16 of the books I've read were diverse, which in terms of race or culture, 30%, which is decent. And then 48 of the 54 books I've read this year were LGBTQIA+. Is anyone surprised? No, I'm surprised that not all 54 are. I'm like trying to think of which ones weren't. I think I have read a couple thrillers this year though, which is probably what those are. All right, my books owned versus books read. I have tried to keep up with that a little bit. Obviously it's not perfect. And I think I have bought some books in the last month or two that I have not added to this. I've read some of them too. I don't know. This is not updated. I'm not doing very good though. This is just another view of my books read per month in a little bar chart. This little section shows how I am consuming the books that I'm reading. So as you can see, ebook takes the cake at 61%, the largest circle of the pie. Physical is next, 13 books or almost 25% physical, 5 audiobooks solely, and then a couple that I've read like audio and physical. My audience is overwhelmingly adult, which is not surprising to me. My books read from is super interesting. The largest slice of the pie is Kindle Unlimited. And then my next largest slice of the pie is from books I own, which makes me feel good. And then from the library and other, I don't know what other is. They're probably just like ebooks from some other source. I don't know what that's from. In terms of publication year, the most books I've read were published in 2022, so last year, and 2023 is next. 2021 closely follows, and then other years make up the rest. I am definitely trending more towards reading recent releases, which I don't feel any type of way about. That's fine with me. This chart shows my genres. Obviously, the largest circle of the pie is romance. That is what I've been reading for like the last 3 years and loving, so that is no surprise to me. I've also read, the next largest slice of the pie is erotic, so same shit. Different font. And then I've read 5 thrillers and some sci-fi, some contemporary, a mystery, you know, just a couple little other things, but mainly romance. Over here you can see my ratings, so it's honestly pretty evenly distributed throughout everything, it looks like. I've only had 3 5-star books this year, which is kind of crazy. I don't know, I have been trending lower in my average rating this year, which is kind of surprising. As you can see down here, it's 3.16, and I've also DNF'd 4 books, which I usually rate 1 star. Actually, that's a lie. I only rated 1 star. I must not be rating my DNF'd books. So that would drag my average down even lower, which is interesting. But yeah, so I have a pretty even like distribution of books that are 4 stars, 3 stars, 2 stars. And then the least amount of books are 5 stars and 1 stars, which is very interesting to me. But there's some other little things. Format, mostly novels, a couple novellas, type of publication. I read a lot of self-published books because I read a lot of Kindle Unlimited romances. So that's the largest slice of the pie. And then traditionally published is next. And there must have been just like 1 indie. This little option to track the color of the cover that Ali included in the spreadsheet, I think it's kind of fun. As you can see, I read a lot of blue books. I don't know why, but I don't know if more books are just blue or if I personally am attracted to blue books. Who knows? Next biggest category is purple, which I think is interesting. I really don't think there are a ton of purple books, but I must just be reading them all. I must just like purple books. I don't know. So interesting. It like means nothing, but I think it's fascinating. You can also see my series stats, part of a series, companion novel, standalone. So I'm reading pretty equally like books that are part of a series and standalones, maybe a little bit more books that are series or companions. My author stats, I tend to reach for people that I have read before, but I have read quite a bit of authors that are new to me. This graph shows you the publishers. As you can see, a majority of the books were self-published, and then a lot of the other like publishers are represented. HarperCollins is the biggest, it looks like, with all the others just having like 1 or 2 from them. I think those are all my stats from the year. Just thought that might be like a little interesting way to do a little bit of a reflection on what I've been reading and just to update you guys on what I've been up to. All right, so let's just get into the next step. What should we do first? Should we do content planning first? Yeah, let's do that. All right, so I have this adorable June calendar that I made in Canva featuring my new branding colors. If you haven't checked that out, go to my channel and like look at my new banner and everything. It is super cute. It was made by my cousin who's an artist, and she did a fantastic job, and I'm obsessed. So yes, obviously we have a Pride Month themed calendar. And the plan is to post 2 videos a week, every Sunday and Wednesday. The first video is not going to be up on a Sunday or a Wednesday though, unfortunately. Also, I've just now realized that these dates are wrong, so let me fix that really quick. Is there a quick way to do this? I think so. That way. Alright, there we go. That's better. Alright, so my original plan was to upload my first video back on Wednesday, the 31st of May, but that didn't happen because I didn't get my new computer until later than that. Actually, that's a lie. But I still haven't edited it, and it's Friday the 2nd today, so it's gonna go up tomorrow. And that is going to be Gay Books coming out, haha, in June. And font's a little too big. We'll do 14. Okay. And then since that video is going to be late, I'm probably going to post this video a little bit late just because I don't like to post like back-to-back videos. I feel like, I don't know, maybe I'm just going to post it on Sunday. What the heck. So on Sunday will be my June reset and TBR. And then Wednesday will be my like 6-month wrap up. And then on the 11th, we're going to be doing a book unhaul. I can spell. And the 14th is going to be my bookshelf reorganization video. On the 18th, I'm posting a video of all of my favorite sapphic books. On the 21st, I have a reading vlog coming out. It's going to be themed. It's going to be themed. All the books I'm reading in it are gay sci-fi books. On the 25th, I have a secret TBR project, and I'm not sure it's going to be coming out on the 25th. I have been like working on it forever, probably over a year at this point, and it still hasn't happened, and I still have like 20 books to read for it, so I don't know if it's gonna happen. So I'm just gonna put like a secret TBR video maybe on the calendar. And then on the 28th, we're going to be doing another gay books coming out, wink wink nudge nudge, in July. All right, that is my June content calendar, and I'm posting this on my community tab, and hopefully it'll hold me accountable. I just feel like a broken record sometimes, but this time I really mean it. I really mean it, guys, okay? All right, now let's talk about my reading for June. So first, let's talk about my goals. I'm trying to keep things simple for June. My goal is to read 10 books, which I think is an achievable goal. It's a little bit of a push, but not too much. Like, it's achievable, but it's still something I need to work towards, because last month, naturally, I just read 7 books. So I'm hoping with a little bit more push, a little bit more intentionality, I can read 10. I'm also trying to read 5 books from my physical TBR, which I thought about as I was making my TBR for June. I also would like to prioritize books for videos, especially for my sci-fi vlog. That's the really only big video coming out that I need to prioritize for. Obviously, that secret list video that I have alluded to is also something I want to try and prioritize, but I just don't want to set unrealistic expectations on myself to read 40 books this month when I've hardly read 40 books this year. So keep it simple. It happens when it happens, you know, it's okay. And I also would like to read more days than not, which you saw me make as a goal for like the year overall. I don't really know how to track this. I probably should try and like start tracking this, but you know, whatever. And then I have a couple social media goals. So like I said, I wanted to post 2 YouTube videos per week, and as long as I follow my calendar and get out the videos I'm planning to get out, that will work out. I also would really like to host 2 reading sprints this month. I really miss doing reading sprints. I feel like that was like the golden age of YouTube, when everybody was like sprinting every night, and like sometimes you couldn't schedule a sprint because someone else was sprinting. I kind of want to get back to that and interacting with you guys, especially since I've been away for so long. If you want to let me know in the comments down below, like what the best times for you guys are. My schedule is pretty busy, so I'll have to like see when it would be realistic for me to do this, but I really would like to. Maybe I might actually, I'm going to change my goal to host 1 reading sprint, actually. Just 1. Only 1. That's all I have to do. And 2 YouTube videos a week. I'm not going to get into like trying to post TikToks and Instagram and all kinds of shit this month. I'm just focusing on YouTube this month and getting back into the swing of things. So that is my main goal. All right, and last but not least, let's talk about the books that I am planning to read in June. So June is Pride Month, so of course, all the books I'm reading this month have to be gay, not unlike every other month of the year. But you know what I mean. And one way that I'm planning to do this is that me and a bunch of other friends over on Instagram are hosting like a chill, casual Pride-a-thon. So a Pride-themed readathon. It is a bingo board style readathon. The bingo board was created by the lovely Christine over at the Rimby's Digest, one of my closest friends on BookTube. All credit, all love goes to her, and this bingo board is absolutely stunning and beautiful. Last year, my goal was to black out the board, which I think is overambitious for me this year, but I am going to try and get at least 2 bingos. The books that I have like set for my TBR are across like the row across the very top and the row across the very right, to make like a little upside down L. That is my plan. Those are the books I've planned for, and the ones that fit in with like other things I'm doing this month as well. So the first category over in the left upper corner is coming of age queer story, and for this I'm planning to read Last Night at the Telegraph Club by Melinda Lowe. This is a female young adult romance that is set in San Francisco during the Red Scare. Lily is a Chinese American, and Kathleen is the girl she is the girl she falls in love with. Chinatown in San Francisco in 1954 is not the place for two girls to fall in love, especially not when one is Chinese American, and so these two have to risk everything to let their love see the light of day. I've heard nothing but incredible, amazing things about this book, and I've been so excited to read it ever since it came out, and it is high time for me to finally read it, and I'm very excited to finally do so. The next category that I am trying to check off is book written by, and by as in a by author or a main character, and for that I'm going to read Hiiiii and Issue's Guide to Fake Dating by Adiba Jagdar. This is another YA female romance. This book follows Hiiiii and Issue, obviously, and Hiiiii is one of the most popular girls at school, but when she comes out to her friends as bisexual, they invalidate her identity, saying she can't be bisexual, she's only dated guys. So she blurts out that she is currently dating a girl, Issue, who her and her friends hate. Issue is kind of the opposite of Hiiiii. She is the academic overachiever and she wants to be head girl, and so she agrees to help Hiiiii out by fake dating her if Hiiiii will help her become more popular and stand a chance of being elected head girl. But of course, real feelings develop along the way between these two, and I've heard really good things about this one. It sounds so cute. I found it at my library and I'm very excited to pick it up. The next prompt is to read a book with a neurodivergent queer character, and for this I'm going to read The Magic Between by Stephanie Hott. The Magic Between is an adult queer fantasy with an opposites attract romance. It follows AB and Matthew. AB is a pop star with OCD, and he also has the ability to turn invisible, and he does not believe in bonds, which are, I think, something in this world which shows you who your true love is. Like when you meet them, a bond forms. Like if you've ever read fan fiction, you've heard of this trope, so I don't know why I'm trying to explain it because most of you probably have read fan fiction. On the other hand, Matthew is an NHL hockey star, and he's also straight. But he truly believes in bonds, so when he meets AB and things start to happen, what are they to do? This book has been on my TBR for a while, and when I was trying to find a book for this prompt, I ran across this one. It reinvigorated my excitement to read this one, so honestly this might be what I pick up next because it sounds so good and I really love a bond trope. So for a book with a rainbow on the cover, I'm going to read Queerly Beloved by Susie Drummond. This sounds like a women's fiction book with a side of queer romance. In this book we're following Amy, who is a semi-closeted queer baker who's recently fired from her job, and so she takes her side hustle full-time, and her side hustle is being a bridesmaid for hire because one, she's a baker and she has spent years watching Say Yes to the Dress. It seems a little flimsy to me, but whatever. And then along the way she also meets Charlie, who is someone who is new in town and starts to find someone that she actually wants. There's lots of changes in her life. She has to decide what it looks like to be true to herself, you know, all of that bullshit. But this book has a very clear rainbow on the cover in the middle of the cake, as you can see. And so I thought it would be perfect for this prompt. I'm also trying to read as many sapphic romances as I can before my sapphic romance recommendation video. Also, I'm kind of thinking of doing like a YA sapphic recommendation video and then an adult sapphic recommendation video, like splitting them. Let me know if you think that would be a good idea or if you would rather everything just like be in one video. I don't know. I haven't decided yet, but let me know what you think. And then the next prompt is for a book with a main character who has a sexuality that's different from your own, which is a mouthful. But for that, I'm going to read A Dash of Salt and Pepper by Kosoko Jackson, which that book title is also kind of a mouthful, so maybe this fits really well. Basically, this is a male-male romance. This story follows Xavier and Logan. Xavier is at like a crossroads in his life. He has just been fired from his job and has to move back to his hometown. And so he's looking for work, and he finds work as a prep chef in a hip new restaurant downtown, which is Logan's restaurant. Logan is a single father and is desperate for work, so he really has no choice but to hire Xavier. But the two, as they work together, start to form a connection and a romance. I have middling hopes for this book because I really did not enjoy So Not Over You by Kosoko Jackson, their book released previous to this one. But I'm hoping maybe this one will be a little bit better. I am reading it for another reason, but I thought that it would work for this prompt, so I slotted it in here as well. For a book with queer space travel, I'm planning to read The Darkness Outside by Elliot Schaefer. I've been so highly anticipating this one for a long time. I'm pretty sure Elizabeth sent it to me for my birthday last year. Thank you, Elizabeth. And I can't believe I haven't read it yet, so I'm very excited to pick it up, and I'm also going to be featuring it in my queer science fiction reading vlog, so look out for that as well. This book is a YA sci-fi featuring a male-male romance between Ambrose and Kodiak, who are sworn enemies and are forced together on this rescue mission to rescue Ambrose's sister, who I believe is the first settler on a new planet, and she sent out a distress signal. I don't really understand the plot, at least from the description, but queer space travel is really all I need to know to be into a book, so I'm excited for this one, and I think I will really like it. And last but not least, on my bingo board, I'm planning to read for the Prompt Queer and Disability Rep, and for that I'm going to be reading A Lady for a Duke by Alexis Hall. This is a Regency romance with a trans main character that I have been meaning to read forever. This book follows our main character, Viola, who was presumed dead at Waterloo, so she took that opportunity to finally live as who she really is. But Viola paid for her freedom with the loss of her wealth, her title, and her closest companion, Justin, the Duke of Gracewood. But when their families reconnect, Viola learns how deeply Justin mourned her loss. And Viola is determined to bring him back to himself, and they fall in love along the way. Alexis Hall has written some of my favorite books. His writing is controversial to some, but I just vibe with it so much, so I cannot imagine not loving this book, and I'm so excited to finally pick it up. I think it's taken me so long just because I have such high expectations for it, but I really don't see how it could possibly let me down, so I'm so excited to finally be picking it up this Pride month. Alright, so those are all the books that I'm planning to read for Prideathon, but I do have a couple more on my TBR still. For one, if you didn't know, I'm a part of the Fantaseries Book Club that is hosted by me, along with Christine from the Roomies Digest, Rachel from Let Me in the Library, and Nicole from Bon Bon Reads. And every few months, we read a new fantasy series that is well-loved or controversial and discuss it, and we are starting a new series, and that is for the Broken Earth series by N.K. Jemisin, and the first book is the 5th season. This is a high fantasy story, and I've even started it, and I literally could not explain the plot to you if you had a gun to my head. Like, I have no clue what the hell is going on. I'm not sure I'm liking it. But I'm only like 100 pages in, so I don't want to write it off yet. I'm excited to see where it goes, and I'm excited to discuss it along with the book club. And if you're interested, feel free to join us. We would love to have you. I will link the Discord down in the description, which is where we announce everything. So that's the best place to join up if you want to read along with us. And then last but not least, I have a couple more books that I'm reading for my queer sci-fi reading vlog that I mentioned earlier when I was planning my content. I already did say that I'm going to be reading The Darkness Outside by Elliot Schaefer in that vlog, but I have 3 more books that I am planning to read as well. One is The Space Between Worlds by Micaiah Johnson. This is a sapphic sci-fi following Kara, who lives in a world where multiverse travel is possible, but the catch is that you cannot travel to a parallel universe unless your counterpart in that universe has already died. Kara, for some reason, seems exceptionally good at dying in all of her parallel universes, so in this universe, she is plucked as a perfect candidate for multiverse travel, and so she gets a new job, a fancy new apartment, and a work partner named Adele, who she shamelessly flirts with. But then in another universe, one of Kara's counterparts dies under mysterious circumstances, and so she goes to that world to try and solve the mystery of what happened to her other self. Finds that the world is interconnected in ways she never thought possible. I have heard really good things from this book. People that know me have recommended it to me personally and think I will like it, so I'm very excited to pick it up, and I'm always looking for more sapphic SFF stuff, so I'm really hoping I love this one. The next book I'm planning to read is another sapphic sci-fi, and that is Gideon the Ninth by Tamsin Muir. The way the description of this book is written is so hilarious that I cannot imagine not loving this one. I already love the voice of the main character just through the description, and I feel like I need to just read it to you because I don't think I can summarize it accurately. The description is: the Emperor needs necromancers. The ninth necromancer needs a swordswoman. Gideon has a sword, some dirty magazines, and no more time for undead bullshit. Brought up by unfriendly, ossifying nuns, ancient retainers, and countless skeletons, Gideon is ready to abandon a life of servitude and an afterlife as a reanimated corpse. She packs up her sword, her shoes, and her dirty magazines and prepares to launch her daring escape. But her childhood nemesis won't set her free without a service. Harrowhark, Reverend Daughter of the Ninth House and Bone Witch Extraordinaire, has been summoned into action. The Emperor has invited the heirs to each of his loyal houses to a deadly trial of wits and skill. If Harrowhark succeeds, she will become an immortal, all-powerful servant of the resurrection, but no necromancer can ascend without their cavalier. Without Gideon's sword, Harrow will fall and the Ninth House will die. I just have a good feeling about this book. I don't know what it is, but I just really think I'm gonna love it. It feels like it's not something that I would typically pick up, but I love the description of this book. I just think it's gonna be a winner for me. And then last but certainly not least, the final book I'm reading in that reading vlog is Bonds of Brass by Emily Scretzi. I don't know if I said that last name right, I'm sorry. This book gives me such Winter's Orbit vibes, so I'm so excited to pick it up. This book follows Etienne and Gal, who are roommates at the Umber Military Academy. They are best friends and maybe more, so when the student body starts to rebel and tries to kill Gal, Etienne is like, what the hell is going on? And he finds out Gal is actually the heir to the throne of the Umber Empire, and there is a lot of political dissent in this world. No one really wants the Umber Empire to continue. And so Etienne is very torn, and he has to decide if he is going to throw his lot in with his best friend and the guy that he maybe loves and trust that his goodness will reform the empire, or if he's going to throw his lot in with the rebellion and take down the empire that kind of took everything from him. So this book sounds so good. I know it's a series, but I am very excited to dive into it, and I cannot imagine not loving this book. Alright, so that is my June TBR. There's 11 books on there, and I know I said I wanted to read 10, but you know, this is just aspirational. This is ideal. But whatever happens, happens, and hopefully I will read some good books regardless. So that was my June reset. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if there's anything else you would like to see me do in this style of video, or if there's anything you would not like to see me do in this video anymore. These are kind of like a work in progress. I see them as just kind of like adding and changing things every month to what suits me best in the moment. But yeah, I think they are helpful and fun, and I like filming them, so I hope you enjoy watching them. If you enjoy my content and want to see more from me, I talk a lot about LGBTQIA+ books on my account. I love romance, fantasy, and sci-fi, as long as they're queer. So if you like those things as well, definitely subscribe to my channel. You can also follow me on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Goodreads. I have all of my social media linked in the description down below. Also, any books that I mentioned are linked down below, and if you buy them through my Amazon affiliate link, I will earn a small commission, and that's a great way to support the channel if you feel so inclined. Another completely free way to support the channel is just like subscribing, as I said before, and liking this video to let me know you liked it, or dislike it if you want. I also love to hear your thoughts in the comments, so feel free to leave a comment for me. Yeah, I think that is all for me today, so thank you so much for being here and for watching. I really appreciate you being here, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.